I am saying his point he made that the 50% that side was in a bad taste.
You stated
wrong.
You said everything he said.
No, I said everything I said that statement. No.
So that's
I'm coming.
Hold on.
Which point?
50% of our shows. And I'm saying that statement is unfortunate because it is not true.
So what percentage do you think do free shows?
That free show era is gone.
Hi guys, welcome all of you, especially to the Showbiz on KSS. Yes, and my name is Nana Amafuswa. Call me Her Excellency. Today's show, it is going to be one very interesting one because I have here with me some very, I like to call them controversial media personalities here who are going to speak their minds. And what is making it more interesting is our topics for discussion. And so quickly, I'm going to introduce them. I have on my left, Koka, you don't need any intro movie, all right?
Hello.
And then on my right, I have here with me Long John, the blogger. Long John, what's up?
All good.
All good? I like your shades. I like your chichi. How is everything?
By God's grace.
Welcome to KSS.
My first time, so yeah.
What do you think?
I think
General observation.
everyone is up to the tax.
Wow.
And so far, I know Coach Sheldon personally, so I know on the Ochin Kwasam.
Right. It's solid. All right, guys, we're going to go straight into our topics for discussion. Now, before we do that, I am going to be doing some tidbits of stories that have been trending over the weekend. And in our first story, Rudy Kwache is the CEO for the Rave Group, okay, and the founder of Muse Media Network. Now, Rudy Kwache, in an interview with Kwame Dadzi, has said that half of the December shows by your favorite artists were all free. He's trying to say that this is just some ego trip or something, and they were free. Half of them. So it means if you have about 50 artists in Ghana, 25 of them who have had, if all 50 had their shows, 25 of them did theirs for almost free of charge. Okay, now to other stories. Diogo Jota, who happens to be the Liverpool player, was killed in a crash just 2 weeks after his wedding. The 28-year-old was said to be speeding, and he was trying to overtake a car, and then that was it. The car somersaulted, caught fire, and that is the end of his life. I want to say big condolence to the family. Now, moving on to other stories. Court has convicted Agrada, Evangelist Mama Pat, of defrauding by false pretense, advertising, money doubling scam, and also for duping church members. Then also moving on. Now, this is one very interesting one. A lot of Ghanaians has taken on to social media. Let me say to apologize to Joe Mettle. Now, we all were in Ghana, especially around the TGMA season, where a lot of people were questioning his, consistency in the award scheme. People were asking if he really was working to deserve that. And Joe Mettle, through his annual gospel event, Praise Reloaded, has proved to Ghanaians. Now, a lot of this, social commentators, bloggers, and some media personalities have taken onto their social media platforms to apologize and also to talk about it. And then they think that he has really proven that he deserves, if not anything, to be nominated. And now to our last story. UPSA has raised concerns about the students' indecent dressing on campus. A letter was issued on the 30th of June, 2025. That will be a topic for discussion today. And then we're also going to look at Rudy Kwache's statement on events in Ghana and how half of the artists who organizes events do it for free. Yes.
So you charge 100,000 to do a show in Ghana, but the reality is you can't sell $100,000 of tickets. Mm-hmm. Half of your December shows by your favorite artists were all free. Maka. We're all free. They just gave tickets for people to fill it up. It's an ego trip. Because there's a system. You market in a certain way, you will get your money back. But there's no shortcut around it thinking that Charlie we sold the tickets and airport. No.
Coca, let me start with you. Rudy said this on Kwame Dadze's show. He is saying, or he is claiming, that half of artists in Ghana, check like the shows will be free. It be free show, so all of the acclaimed sold out, all be lie. What's your take on that?
I'll say shout outs to everybody watching, and Charlie, you guys be the reason we do this, and then your support and everything. But those then they type the insults there, they pray for them. Say you watch me finish, you type insults, give me.
It is what makes the show a show.
I know how
everybody cannot be for you.
I know somebody this me where I give and left. But me they pass where you won't go. So I make the nose a full pass up. If they go Laboni, where I take and go Tessano.
So it was deliberate.
I saw him at Jimmy. So I was proving that my level of... I think Rudy's statement is unfortunate one. Is out of context.
Okay.
It was a huge statement, baseless, without no facts and data. My argument is simple. He is in governance now. He's part of the
Black Star
experience. And to make such loose comments when you are trying to build a brand, the Black Star
You think
experience,
Rudy's trying to build a brand?
The brand Black Star experience.
Okay.
Is a process. They are putting things together to get it as the presentation, as it's being sold to Ghanians and everything. So, and with his experience in the space. So I'll look at the issues from this angle. How many shows has Rudy produced? And then how many shows has Rudy financed to run? When you look at those things, then you get it. And 90% of them are shows he has produced for people, not financed. Now, coming from a place, from Roverman, we do quarterly plays. And my salary, my benefits, my rent and everything was being paid from the place and books that we sold and everything. So, and the amount of money we pay every quarter to GRA as what is due them, I don't think the statement makes it lucrative for corporate Ghana in terms of how corporate bodies will see and recognize us. What we are telling them is that a lot of what we do is more fanfooling and settings, but it is wrong. Because take Rapperholic.
Okay.
Are you telling me Rapperholic show is a free show?
Coca, he did not say that all. He says half. So if you have 20 artists,
that's what I'm saying, that the statement is false because there is no data to it. I mean, I was expecting him to say that he's saying this and he's backing it with evidence from GRA. Data. That GRA says that under the entertainment and the tourism, this is the amount of money generated.
Right.
Again, if the year of return has become a yardstick for judgment, I think last 2 years, we made almost about $3.2 million in terms of money from the creative space. Year of return and other things.
So when you creative space, you're talking
tourism, yes,
culture,
yes,
creative arts,
and people go to bar, but they will not pay a gate fee. But how much they spend there are certain taxes that has been paid. People do show. Yes, there were times when artists were doing a lot of shows. Artists were building a lot of brands. So they had this annual concert that they do free, but gradually they've moved away from there. A lot of these artists have moved from there. Now they look for sponsors. But I remember when I was in Ebony Condoms, we were giving sponsorship between almost about 100,000 and 500,000 to artists, and we're doing tie-ins and everything. So we saw how much people were coming and what they were doing.
Right.
Nobody is saying they are free shows, but to position it that way, it sends certain wrong signals. So today, if I go to a corporate Ghana, you have to justify your numbers. You have to prove your shows are legit and other things. And I don't think it was fair for the industry. That is my take.
Charlie,
Long time.
Coca and Kasa, the whole world,
You disagree with Coca?
Coca no get size. You see, let me take it from this angle.
Okay.
Your conversation, I think maybe I should break what Rudy was trying to say. First of all, he's talking about artists selling out auditoriums. The acclaimed sold out events
Right.
doesn't reflect
Really
on
sell.
their income that is made out of the show. I think it's absolutely right, because I believe with the Ghanaian artists, 90% of them do not sell a lot of tickets.
Okay.
Let's take, for instance, you see, one thing Coca keeps mentioning that kept shocking me was the names he keeps mentioning are names that have been in the business for close to 20 years. We are talking about the average Ghanaian artist.
Right.
Somebody like Kwesiata doing a show. You understand? The RDJs. If you are to listen to 90%, probably I think 99.97. Most of them will tell you they make close to nothing from gigs.
Okay.
Now, when you, for instance, I was on the show with YB. He is an artist manager, and they have managed. He is into event and stuff. Extravaganza. When he tells you they make a whole Guinness makes close to nothing from tickets, would you believe?
It's believable.
So you see, what Rudy is trying to say is the main reason why artists.
And Rudy is the one managing that property.
Okay, fine.
Oh, okay.
So the whole thing is, the truth of the matter is, Ghanaians do not. You see, the thing is, Ghanaians at this point do not believe they are supposed to pay X amount to see just this artist. That is one of the problems. They believe, now medical will be performing. Why should I go and pay this amount? So first of all, even before the program will start, before the rollout of the program, they are supposed to even prepare tickets for people for free.
Right.
And mind you, the printout of those tickets, somebody is supposed to bear those costs. Influencers that are going to market the tickets are going to have their share. We are going to have media houses run free promos. Even the media houses as partners are supposed to have free tickets. Now, you know Ghanaians and their last minute thing, right? You'll be selling something, and it is during the day of the event, you see them rushing for it. And that's one safe. It will take grace. So I think Rudy was spot on with his conversation, because based on the conversation on board, and you know, I produce a show, and most times we have these artists come through. Their complaints and stuff, you really could sense they make close to nothing. Right. And their only savior is partners and sponsors. I want to also make Coca understand. When a sponsor is on the show, right? In fact, how many Ghanaian artists make guest sponsors on their show? You are starting your event. Your event is less than 5 years. Can you get Guinness on your show? Can you get MTN on your show?
Well, it's possible.
Most of them run their show individually.
So
zero. And you see, one thing about sponsorship is you need to make a statement before they come on board.
Right.
So you are starting a show with no sponsor. That's that fair show. No? Can I down on when they be tweeted? Look at medical show at Soto, where I wouldn't like to remind the family of that the guy that got injured. But let's take that show for instance. After the show, there was a lot of debt, right? And then someone got injured. Who bears the cost?
Organizers of the event. But
do you know it was medical that was fending for the needs of the guy, even till now?
Because it was his show.
Thank you. So if medical tells you that show didn't fetch him anything. Is he lying or he's speaking the
But
truth?
that show was his
But you
earlier
see-
days, and he was doing a free
Good.
show.
But you
no,
see,
whether
they make
earlier,
it-
no, focus
It was
to
a
understand
free
whether earlier or later. The thing is, the average Ghanaian artist is what Rudy is talking about.
Okay.
You see
And
the
who's the,
Obede, the Sarkodie
so
you're
who's the
talking about.
average,
Hold on,
average,
hold on.
average Ghanaian
He
artist?
did not
He's
say-
speaking for the average Ghanaian.
Who's the average Ghanaian artist?
At this
The
point,
Kofi Moles, the Amrados.
And,
You understand?
And you see,
Anyways,
These
so-
are the
and I
artists
can
he's
tell
talking
you, a
about.
lot of the artists
Hold
that you
on.
mentioned their name, they will come at you to say that what is the tag that is
Well,
being
that
given
is
them.
the
And you
opinion.
see, look,
But
Rudy-
anyways,
I want
anyways,
you to
Long John.
understand, Rudy didn't say it in the sense that
That
he's
is
trying to
what I want to
badmouth
say.
Ghanaian artists.
That is what-
He's making the corporate Ghana understand that if we are to leave these artists alone, they will struggle to make events. And you see, let me tell you the truth. Right now, even event organizers, promoters, can't get artists on their show because of their prices. The only time you can see certain artists is on their colleague artist show. So if you are a corporate Ghana and then you want to do your own event, you know Belen, Shatawale and Sarkodie will be very expensive for you. Now, Medical has a show. He can be able to get Shatawale and Sarkodie. Why don't you come on board? That's how I see Rudy's submission. I don't see him as someone trying to badmouth the industry that feeds him.
So okay, Long John, what Rudy said, okay, he stated clearly that most of the shows, we've seen a couple of times on air when the artist wants to claim that there are artists that are able to sell out tickets even before time. Although sold out, it's like that is, you have to have a sold out show. Then it proves that you're a top-notch artist, or you're an artist that everybody wants. And that is what he was saying, that most of these artists do their shows for free. And his free is saying that most of the times they have to give tickets out to people to just come. And then he also stated that they are refusing to do
Proper structure.
Exactly. There's a way around it.
Let me-
I don't know if artists do not believe in the fact that, if you want to do your promotions, there's a proper way to go about it.
Please.
Publicity.
You guys should stop making...
So you see, you are one of those who do not
you see,
believe in that.
No, it's not about
There
that.
are experts.
Even 50 Cent currently is struggling to sell tickets. What are you talking about? What better structure is there
But-
for in the Hollywood than Africa here?
But Long John,
you see,
we
this is it.
have
Let me show
events
you.
in Ghana.
Let me show you. Hold on. I want you to understand.
Let me just add this.
Okay.
We have, if you're talking about 50 cents, finding it difficult, we have events in Ghana. We have popular events in Ghana here where I have been, I can testify to that. Okay, we have big events, talking events like the
Tidal Wave.
Exactly. You see all of the shows where tickets are quite expensive and they're sold out. I believe that those ones are able to do so because they put in the proper structure, and that is the conversation that Rudy is trying to have. Sure.
Okay. So the whole thing is, first of all, I spoke about artists come up. When they are starting their show, definitely they have to start with numbers. The most important thing that can get you a sponsor is numbers. Whichever way you do to make sure you convince your sponsors, you have the numbers. You have to do it.
But
Hold on,
John,
I'm coming. I'm building my point.
All right.
So, if I have to give out free tickets to get the numbers, I have to do it. But it is not for the current situation, but for the nearest future.
So when you say,
So when I'm able to get the numbers-
I want clarity
Yes.
on what you said. So when you say that a sponsor, an
I'm trying to
able
say is-
sponsor, I just want you to clarify this.
Okay.
When you say an able sponsor or a sponsor, would want to look at the numbers.
Yeah,
That's
of
what I
course.
wanted to ask. What numbers are you talking about? Is it the number of fans that the artist has got?
No.
This is a show
It
that
is
is yet
the
to
number
happen.
of attending. No.
Okay.
That is why I'm saying don't pick it from a built show. Pick it from a come-up show.
But I'm
Hold
not
on,
sure
hold on.
Rudy spoke
Hold on,
about
hold on.
upcoming shows.
It's not about upcoming. It's about shows in general. So
Okay.
everything is involved.
All right.
So let's speak from the perspective of Rudy's talking about, because it's Extravaganza is how old? It's not close to 5 years, right?
Right.
So he's speaking from that tangent. But you see, I remember when Extravaganza started. I mean, one of his genius is one of my colleagues, so we have that vibe. One thing I can tell you, they gave out free tickets than the current ones. The first edition,
You see, and I will say that.
You're sure about that?
I know what I'm talking about.
So-
And the reason is very simple.
Unfortunate.
Coca, let him finish. Let him make his point.
There is a brand process.
Coca, let him
No,
make
I
his
wanted
point.
to correct something before he goes on.
So,
no,
let him end.
Guinness
Okay.
has gotten
Coca,
to a point
Coca,
they were
please.
losing the
He might-
young people
Are you okay?
in terms of
Have you given him
consumption.
the floor to
No.
do?
What is Coca saying?
Guinness-
It has nothing to do with Coca. Hey, Guinness. It has nothing to do with Guinness. I don't get Coca.
I
We are
am
talking
telling you
about-
for a fact that it has gotten to a point, and every product goes through a product's life cycle. The current generation consumption for Guinness is going down. So you need to build a show to bring.
You think consumption for Guinness is going down?
Wait, Coca
You see,
saying?
you
Coca,
see,
it has nothing to do with the brand.
I'm a salesperson.
Okay.
When you talk about brands in Ghana, there is no brands manager or chief executive. I don't know now. I started with most of them.
Okay.
It is database and then product life cycle. It gets to a time. Now, the drugs on the streets, the kind of intensity, a lot of products in terms of liquor.
The number of people who do drugs, I do not think will outweigh the number of people
No.
who like
I'm
to take
saying
the normal
that the
alcoholic
consumption
beverages.
of Guinness in
Okay.
the youth bracket now, it is going down. You get me? It is
what are you
going
saying?
down.
You think so?
It is so based on data, and what they are doing is introducing the modern day youth to the brand Guinness for them to appreciate the ideologies, the qualities of the drink, and other things. And this is the reason this Avaganza thing is going on. And it's
Really?
a product building strategy to get new consumers for the product, to introduce the products to a new market. That is what I know.
Well,
it is not just
so,
a
so
show.
if you're
Let me-
talking
hold on,
about
hold on,
that,
I'm
Coca,
coming.
let me just make this clear. If you're talking about that, I won't say it is just Guinness. Okay, every company.
That was what I was even coming to.
And
Well,
I'm
do
saying
that.
that-
There are
Coca,
goals
be
they
very
have-
honest. I'm coming. Hold on. Be very honest. Aside the Rapaholic, how many artists show or how many events do we get there and see right at the event center? Free gate. Before the event, you see prices of tickets. But during the event, it's free gate.
So you see, we always get
In
certain-
fact, let me tell you. Like 80 to 90% of Ghanaian event, getting to midnight, early morning,
There's always a free gate.
they open the gate ajar.
That is what people don't know.
What don't you
know?
know? Tell us.
GRA. You know GRA.
Okay.
Once you advertise a show and they come, the size of the auditorium.
Right.
Do you know when you decide to give a free ticket, you have decided to give your revenue away, but you need to pay tax on the ticket you've given
So
away.
is that not debt to the person organizing it?
So I am saying that before you do an
So,
event.
Coca, at this point, you see, you have come back to accept the fact
No,
that
I am not.
they
What I'm
do
saying,
almost free shows.
it is not almost free show. My argument is, if you don't have a show, why put up a show? But there are people doing an event. They are running event as business. The likes of George Quay. There are shows that are shows, and there are shows just to keep up brands. So when you're making a conversation, make a conversation with data to educate people.
So, Rudy, Coca, it seems as if you've totally.
No,
Yeah.
I am not. All I'm saying that there are
all of
shows.
all of
there
your
are-
submissions, all of your submissions
Yes.
have been on brands
You
and
see,
trying to
Let
penetrate.
me make Coca.
No.
Let me make
You see,
Coca
we are talking
But
about
we
two
are-
different things.
Yes.
I am saying
Hold on.
that
So let's-
the statement is
let's-
unfortunate because there was no data to it.
Okay.
When you have data and you come and you say, okay, this is my analysis. These brands or these products, these things are struggling because of ABC.
This is an unfair opinion.
This-
Coca, you just sat here and accepted the fact that what he said, he is an organizer himself. Did you not say that? So what data are you looking for? If an organizer is speaking, what data do you think he's using to speak? Coca, this is an unfair opinion.
It is
How-
from
He's speaking from
experience.
experience.
It is not
It
about.
is from what he's seen, even
No.
what he has
I
experienced.
beg you. I can't just come out and make a bold statement of that nature.
Well, it is your choice.
Hold on. You made a
I am
statement.
saying
Hold on.
that-
You made a
I am
statement
saying
about
that-
Riverman, right?
I am saying that one, if you want to make statements of this nature, the GRA is there. And when we finish, I'll give you somebody at GRA to engage.
No,
So, Coca,
no. It has nothing to do with GRA.
Okay,
Hold on.
Long John.
You're not
please.
getting the no.
Long John, let me.
explain. Okay.
Please. Don't you think? Okay, I want to ask this question. I believe that as an event organizer,
Yes.
as a person who has always been part of production,
Yes.
he's a producer, he knows what goes into organizing events. He has experienced that,
Yes.
and that is why he has come out to say what he has said. You cannot sit here and say, because he did not give you proof of why he's saying or why he stated.
Don't forget, I'm
that.
also in the industry.
So it's good you're in
Can
the
I
industry.
say what I want
And
to
then
say?
he
I'm
is
making
also,
a point. Please. I want to make
just
a point
like
to you.
you're,
In
just
Ghana,
like Coca,
in
wait,
Ghana.
let me just like you're stating clearly that you are in the industry.
Yeah.
Rudy is an industry person as well.
Yes.
Okay, so he being an industry person, just like you think you know what you're talking about, he knows what is talking about, and I happen to agree with what he's saying.
And I
Hold
said
on.
it.
I
want
think
to
it
make
is
sure-
high
I'm
time.
coming. Hold on.
I think we should look rather into how we can, because what he's saying, Coca, this is
Hold on.
just
I want
something
Coca-
that is happening.
hold on. I want Coca to understand this.
50% might not be 50% of all artists.
So that is the point I'm saying. I'm saying that the statement
it's
was
not true.
unfortunate.
Listen,
The
because
statement
it does
was
not
not
reflect
true.
on
It's
what
not
is
true.
on the
Please,
ground.
please.
But when you
need
tell
to
me,
tell Coca the truth, Coca,
what's the truth?
if someone is able to pay, if an event organizer is able to pay to GRA what is due them,
Yes.
able to pay workers, doesn't mean he made profit. That is your mistake.
Right.
Really?
Because that is your mistake. Right now, you are making your assessment because somebody is able to pay his taxes and be able to pay
Really?
workers. That, of course,
It's
you need to
because
pay
you don't
them.
know. It's because
Are you saying the Olivia issue going on social media?
Right.
let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me give you.
Yeah.
Let
So
me give
long
you a
as the
clear
person has
example.
worked, you need to pay. So long as your event has been held,
You
you
see?
need to pay your tax.
Right.
Government doesn't give a F if you made loss. Or
So,
profit.
so did you listen to my
So you
argument?
know-
I'm saying
Where the-
that
I'm coming. Where the question
once
comes- I'm coming.
you
Hold on. I'm
go
coming.
and advertise
Where the
a
question
show,
comes in.
you can never in your life just get up and say that I am opening a free gate when you had
But Coca, it
advertised.
happens all the time.
So that is where
We have seen a
that
couple-
is
a
where
lot
the
of
GRA
events.
will come to you and tell you that this is the auditorium size.
Right.
This is what you advertise for.
Right.
You put a rate to it. Yes, you have decided to give your part of your fee for free, but their part as a tax company, they will take it from
So
you.
does that mean? Hold on. Does that mean that
So
Coca? Does
at
that
the
mean that
end,
if-
at
hold
the
on,
end,
hold on.
what happens to the show?
No, let me ask him. I'm coming. Let me ask
Coca.
you something.
At the end of what happens to what?
Coca, I'm coming.
At
Hold
the
on.
end of whether you keep the gate closed,
I'm coming.
and stick to your payments before entry.
Oh, God.
Or you open the gate.
No.
Okay.
I'm coming. Let me
you
ask Coca
open
this
a free gate. At the end of the day, at
Yeah.
the end of the event,
Yes.
is there a gain or there's a loss?
You, I'm saying that.
Long John, let me listen to what
You
you have to
see,
say.
Coca, I'm saying this and I repeat it. If you are able to pay GRA,
Yes.
if you are able to pay your
Take
workers,
the if from there and
If
speak
you-
reality. I don't
Long
do
John,
the if.
go ahead.
right?
I
if
don't
you're
do
able to
ifs.
do all these things,
Right.
Yes.
it doesn't mean you've made profit from an event. It could be, look, and let me tell you, most of these artists that are doing their shows, you think they are bankrupt before doing a show? They have their own cash and they are prepared for what might happen. You understand? You can't go into a show like Uniska organizing. Wait, you are trying to build your
But
finances
I've
through
organized,
event organizing Ghana here.
I've organized shows without revenue, without money.
No,
and
that-
so let me show
that's
you.
what I'm saying. You, Coca,
So no,
oh, yes,
there is
no,
there is there is a strategy. No, there's a strategy. So I come to her. I come to her as a company.
Yeah, you're not
I tell
ordinary.
her. I know you want to achieve A, B, C, D
Sponsorship.
with your brand.
So
Sponsorship.
I'm coming.
quickly.
Oh
let's-
yes, but in
let's-
Ghana currently
Long John,
nobody
Long
has
John,
beat my record.
thank you.
Sponsorship is the way to go
Thank
to run
you.
your
Look at
shows.
it.
Thank you, Coca.
And I'm saying, if you have sponsors,
Yes,
right?
Take the if. Let's speak reality.
Yes, you have sponsors.
Yes.
Those are going to be the very good reasons why you can make profit because it's
Yes.
through them and vendors you can make extra money.
Yes.
How many artists have all these on board in Ghana? In fact, how many event organizers? Let's take for instance.
So now
you see
when
the
you
Taekwondo
so now
show
when you
with,
listen
Black
to
Sheriff,
you listen to
did you
what
hear the complaint of the artists? They said they didn't make any revenue.
Right.
So what about that?
So when you listen to what Rudy was saying, and I'm saying that the part he said that a lot of our people, 50%.
Oh no, me I said 90%.
I said it was wrong.
90%.
No, let me show you. Because a lot of people don't plan their shows and they will give their shows to people to run them. If you
give the people to which give the show to which people.
But you have to give it to somebody to run it for you. How can I test you on stage? How do you run the show?
That is where we come back to what the conversation or the points Rudy was trying to make. That they do not involve the right people.
What is the right
They
people?
do not go through the right structures. I tell you.
And that one, I support. What I'm saying, you still don't get me. I am saying his point he made that the 50%, that side, was in a bad taste.
You stated that you said everything he said.
No, I said everything he said. No, I said that statement. No.
So that statement.
I'm coming. Hold on. I'm saying that, watch the whole interview. Okay. I am saying emphatically that point he made, that
which point?
50% of our show. And I'm saying that statement is unfortunate because it is not true.
So what percentage do you think do free shows?
That free show era is gone.
Okay. Well, that Long John, please.
That period
now
is,
moving forward.
That period is gone. All I'm trying to tell you, hold on. All I'm trying to tell you is, if you want to do a show, you need to put your metrics in place. Okay. This is the show I want to do. This is my target market. This is the people I want to look at sponsorship from. This is my event organizer. Run your overheads. Know what you want to do. Be sure your communication meets the right people. Be sure the content is what your audience are looking out for. Right. Then you go in out. When you go there, you advertise. Once you advertise and mention a rate, GRA is going to hold you by that rate you have done. So what you need to do is first go to GRA, have a conversation with them and tell them, this is the show you are going to do. This is what you are projecting. And you will be happy to have a negotiation to be able to work with this figure to be able to pay tax on.
Right.
You get it.
Right. Long John, let me ask you this. Long John, we have spoken about the fact that at some point, because we do not get people, or that most of these events are unable to sell their tickets at the end, they either take something less than the ticket price and allow everybody in. Right. I want to know, or let me ask you this. What is who not doing right? Okay, what is not done right? What is not being done right? Is it that, has it got anything to do with prices? Because for an artist, we've seen a couple of these shows where even artists with with bigger fan base, artists with bigger fan base, both online presence and everything, they've got a lot of followers, but are unable to sell tickets, sell out their tickets. Okay, what could be the problem? What are they not doing right? Do you think they're not promoting well enough? Do you think that the ticket prices are not realistic, putting the average Ghanaian fan into consideration? What is not being done right?
First of all, I would like to also side with Coca on one thing.
Long John, can we not?
No.
Can we
not?
You're
not going on that tangent. Hold on, let me finish my point.
Coca,
I'm siding with Coca on one thing. You see, one truth about most of our event organizers, most of them do not hire the professional hands. That's
exactly.
Hold on. That's one truth. Also on Tobu.
So I was thinking you were going to go back into the political
boys. Oh, this is my guy. Run this thing for me. Do this.
Paddy.
You see, and that is one of the reasons why the industry is where it is today. And another thing too, I feel is a problem is the consumers. The Ghanaian consumers is a bit tough to deal with. Even when the whole structures have been placed right, trust me, even to get them to buy the ticket, even after discount. I remember there are times we had to go and sell certain show tickets with discount in traffic light and things. Even with discount. Kasa tenten bi a you obey no. Ene kra no ye bokasa ni wi kan e ko onto. So you see, convincing people in Ghana and Kasa to buy a ticket is one of the hurdles artists or organizers face.
Why is it so? Is it that they think that artists are not worth that money they have to pay?
That is not on the people doing the event, but the very people consuming. You don't know what runs through in their mind. Honestly, because, and you know the funny thing, even with the made shows, the day people will start chasing for the ticket is the day of the event. I can give you a typical example. TGMA.
Right.
Rapaholic could be running adverts. You know, Sarkodie has started flyers for Rapaholic, and it's going to be in Kumasi. Don't be shocked it will be silent all this while.
On
the D-Day, you have call from Kumasi, someone calling you in Accra. But that is how, I don't know why we are like that, but I think most chunk of the problem is from our consumers. I don't know why they wait till the last minute. And that is where the price starts going up and all those black markets.
Right.
You go to an event venue and then someone has bought like 30 tickets or Toninia, if for instance 100 CDs or 200 CDs.
Wow.
Yeah, black market. And that's where a lot of people make money. So I think one of major problem, one, is the professionals being hired by organizers to do the event. And two, the consumers. They are one of the biggest problems. You really can't understand what they want. Because you can flash, you can do everything right, they will wait for last minute. And at that point, the organizer has no control over that. It is the consumers that have to. So I think one thing we need to do as media houses or personalities is to educate them, make them understand.
Right.
If you want to go for an event, you have it in your schedule. Plan for it. Plan towards it. Get the ticket. Even if you get it and you are not ready to go, there are ways you can get a refund or give to a friend. You understand? But you don't wait for the last. I think the media houses or the media platforms need to educate people on the reasons or benefits for getting an early ticket to save them a lot of stress on the last day.
Right.
That's big. Because Tidal Reef, you heard of the stealing and all those things that happened there.
Right.
And many of them is because of that. People get to the venue and that is where they want to buy tickets. And you'll be left standing outside. And outside, you are not safe. The only time the organizer is responsible for your security is when you are inside their event. So long as you stand outside, whatever happens to you, it's you and your God. So I think we need to educate and sensitize the public to understand that getting a ticket early is very important.
Right. Koka, you want to grab a drink?
No, I
You think grab a drink.
no, I'm okay.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I understand. Okay, now looking at the typical Ghanaian artist management. Okay, and then even with our record labels, they happen to always be in charge of everything, especially with events. Do you think that record label or artist management are up to the task or understand the business of events with their artists? Are they supposed to be in charge or they are supposed to outsource that? Do you think they understand that business, that side of the business well enough to do it?
No, there is always a line of symmetry that needs to be built.
Right.
That give the show to an event organizer and manage your artistry.
Simple.
Right.
Focus on your artistry.
Simple.
Focus and understand what will make people buy the show.
Right.
And I'll tell you that Rapaholic in Kumasi will be chaotic. It will sell out. There will be issues. I'll give you an example for how the Christians sell tickets. And they use the church base.
Right.
They use the various groups.
Right.
There are event companies that have registered database. I know of an event company that has almost about 1 million database.
Oh.
So they don't advertise. They send a communicate to them, and people buy the tickets in advance. And an early bird ticket is different from the actual day ticket price. And then the early bird gives you options to multiple day shows when you can go and other things. So it is how you position your brand and how you deal with the audience. How the customer service. Ghanaians appreciate time. It is event organizers who have not given Ghanaians reasons to doubt. So right now, everybody wants to see a video of the show being live before they go there. But there are shows they know, why would the Lumba show sell out? Why would the Kojoenchi show sell out? Why would Amachi Dede show sell out? It is because their consistency and the audience choice is what they do. They do what the audience like. But when you're a young person and you want to go and show people what is in your head, like this is the song I want to perform.
Right.
Have you gone through your playlists, your management? Have they engaged? Have they sent blast messages? Okay, this year's Rapperholic, what songs do you want to hear?
Right.
Then you gather and then you deliver. Do you know when you deliver next year, they know you're going to do that thing, so they will come.
Right.
Look at 1st January is a difficult day to do show in Ghana. But anytime I'm actually,
why is it so?
Because 31st night, and then two is 1st January is a family reunion day. Everybody wants to be at home. So for somebody to move, not just our content, rich and legit. Look at Amachi Dede Lumba when they are the place gets filled. Even though second people are going to work, it is because they do the show to suit the excitement. They scratch where the audience itch. But the young people feel like, yo, me na mabo me nyum na me ye me show and I'm say better tickets. Look at Tidal Wave. They build the thing on database, and it is halls. Uko campus. Every campus has their database.
Right.
They sell the tickets to them and other things. So you will see the thing on social media as will be uncle, but people have bought their tickets. Some people even buy tickets immediately the first show is done. So it is a show build, and it reflects their needs and wants and their times and seasons. That is why it's better. And the operational team are young people who understand what they are doing for their peers. But a lot of times, management, there is a gap. Because they are trying to please the artist, they forget that the audience is paying for what the artist is doing. So, okay, me buy nyuma obo enye no na me pe. My born nyuma kan. Na me pie na me ko. Next year I hear the show Sancrophone, I don't trust them.
That's true.
You get me? So if you watch Stoneboy, Shatawale, there are certain people, because of the fan base, they always have to perform what the fans want.
Exactly.
And they always get their money because there is this loyalty and this brand assurance that Adia Ayekoi is about us. But when you try to be yourself, like a DJ playing a show, that is where we are. We just need to be professional about shows. Ghanaians like to go out. Ghanaians want to spend. Ghanaians want to have good times. But we don't give them the reason to pay for quality show. Because look at what you're saying about Joe Mettle show. Look at the number of people who bought tickets and went there.
Right.
And you saw the feedback. It's because they were overfed. They were more satisfied and they wanted more. But he made sure he was precise, it was rich, and it reached them when they needed it. That's the point.
And let me also say this. I think one of the problems too is sometimes our artists.
Okay.
Some of them have to work on their stagecraft. You understand? I think it's only few of them that can actually do a live band and add a bit of. Someone will say it's not all about live band, of course. But those who are not doing the live band, what other
stage presence?
What other stuff do they do on stage that can get people to say, I want to go again?
But Long John, don't you think?
So that is also a factor.
Don't you think that is one thing that the event organizers are getting right? If you're going to have a live band show, you should know what artist you're putting on that show, because by now you should investigate, you should do your research and know what artist is best for what kind of show. If I am going to have a live band show, I'll be looking at artists.
They don't relate with the needs of the consumer.
Consumers.
They don't do.
Okay, no, so I'm saying that's because Long John raised
I think another
the
thing
issue of an artist.
Coca highlighted probably
Because if I am
wasn't
an
really
artist,
loud is organizers do not, especially here in Ghana, they do not pay close or no attention to the reviews of their consumers after every event. They really do not care. Like a point event will be on Konifie. You understand? And I think that's also one factor, because in the end, if you want them to come the next year, if they see probably their complaints being met, look at TGMA for instance. If there's a year they talk about sound, the following year you see improvement. That is how it's supposed to be. But over here, this artist doesn't have any page or anything for you to drop a review. And even if somebody drops a review, an organizer can go and sit on TV and then throw jabs at the person. Probably some are very, sorry to say, senseless opinions. But then again, certain cognitive opinions people drop out there. You should pay attention. Listen, like for instance, Coca talking about the technical aspect of event organizing.
Right.
These are people on the grounds. They know the work. So if they are speaking on that tangent, you are supposed to listen.
Right.
Understand? But I own your event organizer. Coca Kasara, you they do some things. You see those things today.
Right.
Coca, what you do?
Right. And, so in no time we're going to be wrapping up. But before we wrap up, I'd like us to do just a few minutes, a minute or two on the UPSA. So there's a memorandum from the Dean of Students to the students of UPA, and then I'd quickly want to read what it says now from the Office of the Dean of Students to the UPSA students, dated the 30th of June 2025. And the subject is the dress code of students for lectures. Now, says that management is concerned about the indecent dressing of students on campus, especially during lectures. Students are reminded that the university has policy not changed, that the university policy has not changed. The dress code policy will be strictly adhered to. You are therefore reminded to keep abreast with the provisions on the dress code as stated in the Undergraduate Student Handbook 2018 on the university's website. Now, this is the interesting part. With effect from July 1, 2025, a task force will be positioned on strategic locations of the school campus.
Hey, baby,
Task force for dressing. To enforce, guys, let me finish. To enforce the dress code and bring sanity to campus. Now, finally, note that you will not be allowed into the lecture halls with number one, unkept hair, shorts, bathroom slippers.
Unkempt hair.
Unkept hair.
Yeah.
Bathroom slippers, track suits, anklets, nose rings, etc. To mention a few. We uphold our mantra, scholarship. Guys, come on.
Or is a mock?
We uphold our mantra, scholarship with professionalism. Signed, Office of Dean of Students. Coca, what do you think?
I am penny for the say girls in they should come up for that.
No, Coca, please.
Listen,
Coca,
we are in a modern era where
so students are supposed to dress naked to school. So girls are supposed. Okay, let me say, girls and boys are supposed to go to.
Approved.
Who did not? The dean is always dressed well.
Ni gray hair now we jano e can school.
Gray hair, it is natural. It is something that comes with. No, Coca.
Wisdom. How you carry and negotiate.
Let
me tell you.
We're talking. Coca, please.
You are talking what?
I am the moderator.
Listen,
and I need you to understand.
We have gotten to a point. Hold on. Let me make my point.
Ask me to hold on, Coca, please.
We've gotten to an era in the world where you engage.
I won't allow you
Student Deba. Engage them.
Well, you could have said that without necessarily adding Jimmy to it.
If so, when somebody fools, he's what?
No. That is not fooling. How can you call the school? Listen,
fooling.
It was your choice. It was your choice to get enrolled in the school. You had other school. You had other choices. It's just like a Christian enrolling into a Muslim school. You would have to adhere to their protocols. Listen,
I need water on my head.
If you decide to go there, know that they have a mantra, and the mantra still holds. In the memorandum. So please, I do not appreciate that.
Okay.
And I wish that, please, Coca.
Which one?
You should take back his words.
Yes, take back that, please, with all humility. I believe you have seen videos trending and all of that. What's your take on it?
Coca is a freedom fighter. I like it. First of all, you see, I have something to say. Before you applied for the school, you signed an MOU with them.
Right.
And during your admission, the MOU was clearly stated. You combed the whole of Ghana, all the regions, 16 regions, and said it is UPSA.
And you're giving an undergraduate
the senior brother of
book
senior high school
handout.
You are aware. You saw what they did to Black Sheriff, and you decided to apply. No problem. Now you've entered the school. They say wear long dress.
They are not asking
Please,
Yes.
They are not
It is stated nowhere in the memorandum.
Please, I'm coming.
Wear long dress.
Okay. They said if you want to PS, don't PS according to your feelings. PS according to their feelings.
You can PS,
Let's
but when
respect
you're
ourselves.
coming
You said
into the
piercing, they
lecture
didn't say
hall,
it, but they gave
do
piercing.
not. Yes,
Please.
do not. You can have your piercing. They are not stopping you.
Wait.
Listen,
Your nose is my nose.
That is you. That is why they are not stopping you.
Inside.
They didn't say that you won't be admitted if you have piercing on.
No.
But just observe protocol.
No.
So you side with us.
Let me tell you something. Let me be very honest with you. In Ghana, sorry to say, we have leaders that are seriously, I don't want to use insulting words, so I'll be very nice.
Don't.
They are seriously majoring in the minors and minoring in the majors. You are able to
continue.
You are able to bring out a task force for nonsense like this.
You think it's nonsense?
A school na if you know.
Listen to me.
Okay, you had your turn.
School na if you know.
Listen to me. I think at the university level, that is the next phase of adulthood.
So people should be allowed to do just anything?
Listen. If according to you, that's why I said I give due credence to the fact that that is their rules and regulations. So before you signing up, I mean, you knew what you were signing up. But it doesn't mean I support what they did. I mean, it's about time. You see, we have elderly people who are still in the system that have issues with the fact that you enter a room, you've passed them by and you didn't greet them. So because of that, they have issue with you. Those are the elders leading UPSA. Long
1901.
You see, right now, time no day. Somebody wants fresh air around their body. Or say size 32.
And the school is saying, say, that few hours in the lecture hall, do not come up and frama. Well, you can stay at home and take all the frama. But once you decide to come to school to gain some knowledge,
of Ghana,
know that you do not have the freedom to do
you know what they pay me? I blame every student at UPSA for the nuisance happening there. The reason is very simple. And Kabaku be the school na kokota. And Kambele de it will lower down. You see the Rasta guy completed Achimota after everything. Nobody has tested the law. That's why they feel they're on top of the world. Because some of these rules.
When you say nobody has tested the law.
Yeah.
It's a violation of human rights.
Yes, of course.
Listen. I have my rules. Okay? This is an institution.
Did Achimota have their rules?
This is an institution.
Is it a private university?
Did
Achimota have private university? Is it a private university?
Listen, Achimota had their rules, okay?
So how did
if you can come to the school, if you can go to the dean, listen, if you can go to the dean of students and give him tangible reasons why you need your nose ring on, I think you'll be allowed.
And your hands are
if there's an underlying health condition, if there's any, underlying health condition, be that demands that you put on your nose ring, well, I don't think the school will stop you from wearing it. But till that is proven, know that you are not supposed to.
It's not right. Sorry.
What is not right?
You see, we are...
Do not wear bathroom slippers to the lecture hall. What is not right about that?
We are in modern day
The school
world.
is a university for professionals.
It is.
And so they are training you...
Is it a private school? Is it a private school?
It's a university for professional studies.
Is it a government school, a public school, a private school?
You are not to ask me questions. I am just asking you that.
Say both.
I am just asking you that.
So I have both. No, that's what I'm saying.
Everything
is about dialogue. You have SRC. The dean of students, you are supposed to manage the welfare.
Have you confirmed that they have not had that dialogue with the students?
Task force,
listen. So this letter came out.
You see,
we are a lot of us are saying
you are dragging somebody's daughter. You are dragging.
Listen.
No, do not judge just based on videos you're seeing online.
Someone has paid full fees. The person hasn't failed his or her course. But you are dragging him or her because of what they are wearing. Do you know what?
Would the wearing improve his learning?
You see how you can be. You are actually no. That's the truth.
All right, guys.
You are actually limiting the future of a young generation because of what they are wearing.
And
in the next 5 years, hold on.
This is an entertainment show.
So in the next 5 years, if that student you push out of the class,
code of conduct,
hold on. Let me see. In the next 5 years, if that student you push out of the class, it's not, sorry to say, a prostitute or an armed robber, and he tells you the story, what will be your first statement to the school?
Oh, that's sad. That's sad. They didn't treat you.
You will first insult them even before saying sad.
I won't.
Because it's senseless.
I won't.
I have paid my
So you
fees.
support it?
I have not. I
support it.
And you are taking me out like a criminal.
There are so many universities.
Sure.
And you know the best sakra Yesu.
So
And you know the best sakra Yesu. So nim so obi bi sapa. They are mental people in way. Omo de no hwe no munsa.
So simple. Now school no cry more problems. So I'm fixing some problems. And just
look at people are struggling to get places to sleep. Look, people have health issues in the school.
The truth about
students.
They prefer studying
Look, the truth of the matter is, look.
No man I'm
coming. The truth of the matter is, most of our people in the educational system, I can promise my whole life, they use the depression they have in their families to come and worry the kiddies. Because some of the
school fees don't make scholarship.
You are not working. But in senior high school, for instance, they can use scissors in the hairs of students.
Without permission.
How? Like
violating somebody's rights.
It's what this hair. Or the hair next snackler. At least tell him so on kombi mwe. But who try because it has to go down? When did we start this?
Because it's stated. It's been stated. You have to look decent. You have to look a certain way.
Who said this?
If you violate the laws.
Who said this is about trimming your hair?
What's a university?
Who said this is about trimming your hair?
What's a university?
That is why there are other schools that allows.
University is not JSS.
That is why there are other schools that allows you to braid your hair. If you think you cannot cope with their instructions,
I am not.
You just go for what works best for you.
Thank you.
We need funds to improve the school.
Guys, I think that the school authorities should be left to run the school the way they think is best for the school's brand, for the school's reputation, for the school's reputation, and
so wait, the universities that allow those dressing, they are following the
I would say that guys, I'm signing out.
Instead of helping the kids through drug abuse,
this has been Showbiz. This has been Showbiz on KSS, and my name is Nana Amafusua. Call me Her Excellency. I have been your moderator in your.
Obi Muamu. Why? No man
I did not do this alone. I had on my left hand side Coca, and then on my right has been Conca. Long John the blogger.
Pisha.
Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share. Let's get interactive.